In Swallowed Star Episode 234, the moment the Great Axe Creator unleashed his 15th axe, the Divine Eye Clan's 3rd and 6th true masters were forced to beg for mercy. Meanwhile, after remaining hidden for 300 years, Luo Feng reappeared and swept through the universe boat with overwhelming power. As the 3rd and 6th true masters of the Divine Eye Clan fled in panic, the Great Axe Creator struck in fury and unleashed his 15th axe. A supreme divine axe tore through the void, carrying an immeasurable force of darkness. Its shadow merged with the power of the universe's origin, ignoring the obstruction of stars and the restraints of space as it accelerated to thousands, then tens of thousands, of times the speed of light. Even when the 3rd true master brought out his strongest domain-type supreme true treasure, it failed to restrict the axe in the slightest. The Great Axe Creator's attack was powerful enough to shatter an offensive formed by an eternal true god, wielding 3 supreme true treasures at once. Before such power, an ordinary domain treasure was practically useless and could not slow him down at all. The 2 true masters of the Divine Eye Clan were driven into a hopeless situation. In their panic, they hid inside a pinnacle palace treasure and attempted to flee, but the Great Axe Creator caught up with them almost instantly. At that critical moment, they realized that remaining inside the palace would only allow the Great Axe Creator to forcibly seal and suppress them. They therefore made the decisive choice to separate, escape in different directions, and draw upon their respective hidden resources to prolong the confrontation. The 3rd true master possessed 2 supreme true treasures and ranked 2nd among the Divine Eye Clan's 7 true masters. Believing that he would not be killed even if he endured the Great Axe Creator's assault directly, he suppressed his anger and forced himself to remain defiant. However, he soon recognized the truth. The Great Axe Creator standing before him was no longer the quiet and seemingly ordinary supreme expert remembered by the universe ocean. His strength had already approached that of the primal ancestor, the unrivaled figure who had once swept across the universe and whom no one had dared to provoke. With no path of escape remaining, the proud true masters of the Divine Eye Clan finally lowered their heads and submitted. Enduring the humiliation, they handed over 3 exceptional pinnacle true treasures: 1 domain-type treasure, 1 palace-type treasure, and 1 soul illusion treasure. All 3 belonged to extremely rare and valuable categories. Only after paying this price was the conflict between the 2 races brought to an end. The outcome stunned every expert watching the confrontation. Whether it was the Golden Radiance demon god or Sitting Mountain guest, who had been observing from the shadows, they all understood one thing clearly. From that moment onward, the universe ocean had gained another supreme powerhouse, and the influence of the human race had been completely transformed. However, the battle that appeared to be an effortless victory concealed an extraordinary struggle of calculation, restraint, and patience. The truth was far more complicated than it seemed. After the battle, Sitting Mountain guest explained several crucial secrets concerning the level of the strongest in the universe to Luo Feng, clearing away many of the doubts that had troubled him. Why could the Great Axe Creator completely suppress the 3rd true master but still fail to kill him? Why had he demanded only 3 pinnacle true treasures despite holding an absolute advantage, rather than starting an all-out war? The answer lay within the balance between the major races and the laws governing the universe. The 3rd true master possessed 2 supreme true treasures, giving him a profound foundation and countless methods of preserving his life. Although the Great Axe Creator could suppress him in every aspect, killing him completely would be extremely difficult. The 6th true master, however, possessed only a single soul-type supreme true treasure. His resources and defensive foundation were far weaker. Had he faced the Great Axe Creator alone, there was a high probability that he would have been killed on the spot. The deeper reason for the Great Axe Creator's restraint was the terrifying strength of the Divine Eye Clan itself. As one of the strongest forces from the first reincarnation era, the Divine Eye Clan possessed 7 true masters. When united, they were powerful enough to contend against nearly any force in the universe ocean. Their race was also approaching the end of its lifespan. Every expert within the clan had entered a state of desperation, ready to risk everything for survival. Had the Great Axe Creator attempted to wipe out the 3rd and 6th true masters, the human race would have been dragged into a full-scale war against the Divine Eye Clan. At that time, even with the Great Axe Creator and the Chaos City leader protecting the human race, they would not have been able to safeguard every universe master belonging to humanity. The younger experts of the human race would have been trapped within the original universe, too afraid to enter the universe ocean to explore, fight, and temper themselves. Eventually, an entire generation of talent would have been lost, and the development of the human race would have stagnated. By accepting the treasures and ending the conflict at the proper moment, the great axe creator appeared to be compromising, but in reality he had chosen the best possible outcome. He had ruthlessly intimidated the Divine Eye clan and washed away the humiliations suffered by humanity. He had also obtained valuable resources that strengthened the human race while preventing a catastrophic war that could have threatened the survival of both sides. His decision revealed extraordinary foresight. Sitting Mountain Guest also explained the fundamental restrictions imposed by the original universe and the universe ocean. These rules were the true source of the difference in strength between top-level experts, and they allowed Luo Feng to understand just how far he still stood from the most powerful beings. The original universe was the source and foundation of all living beings. Its will stood above everything in the universe ocean and imposed extreme restrictions upon those who had reached the level of the strongest in the universe. Within the original universe, whenever a strongest in the universe fought a universe master, he would completely lose the fundamental privilege of controlling reality through his words. His divine power would also be suppressed to the level of a universe master with a perfect genetic structure, while the power he could unleash would be restricted by a fixed upper limit. If he killed a universe master, he would suffer severe punishment from the universe's origin, causing devastating damage to his divine body. Within the original universe, the strongest in the universe was restrained at every turn and could never fight freely. Inside the universe ocean, however, those restrictions were greatly weakened. Only two fundamental limitations remained. The strongest in the universe could not alter reality merely by speaking, and the strength of his divine power remained restricted. Beyond those two rules, there was no upper limit on the power that could be released through treasures, secret techniques, or physical strength. Killing a universe master would also bring no punishment from the universe's origin. This was the main reason why nearly every strongest in the universe preferred to explore and fight within the universe ocean, and rarely took action inside the original universe. After hearing this explanation, Luo Feng finally understood that true supreme combat power did not come merely from possessing a higher cultivation realm. It came from achieving complete mastery over the laws of the universe, the secret engravings within treasures, and the origins of one's cultivation techniques. The months Luo Feng spent training within the abyss became a crucial opportunity for his transformation. While controlling the Science Stone Peak and using the reverse current to escape the abyss's powerful pulling force, Sitting Mountain Guest repaired Luo Feng's damaged Mad Demon Godslayer armor in only 2 days. During the repair, Sitting Mountain Guest carefully instructed Luo Feng and opened the door to an entirely new path of cultivation. It was the Secret Engraving Diagram School. This was an advanced cultivation system that transcended the traditional comprehension of laws and the beast god path. It would eventually become the foundation that allowed Luo Feng to challenge stronger opponents and dominate the universe ocean. Luo Feng had always believed that the difference between cultivation realms formed an absolute barrier to strength. He had assumed that a universe master could never reach the level of secret techniques belonging to the strongest in the universe. Sitting Mountain Guest directly revealed the truth. The difference in combat power between experts did not appear from nothing. It was created by studying the secret engravings within true treasures, deriving secret techniques from those engravings, and continuously refining one's fighting ability. A universe master might find it almost impossible to create a top-level secret technique through his own comprehension, but he could use the innate secret engravings within a supreme true treasure to reproduce power at the level of the strongest in the universe. Sitting Mountain Guest also taught Luo Feng the authoritative combat ranking system accepted throughout the universe ocean, allowing Luo Feng to understand his own strength more clearly. First rank through fourth rank experts were considered ordinary universe masters. Fifth rank experts were regarded as top-level universe masters. The Chaos City Leader and the 5 Chaos Master both belonged to this level. A universe master who possessed a supreme true treasure could immediately step into the 6th rank, allowing him to rival a strongest in the universe who lacked such a treasure. The Great Axe Creator was an extraordinary exception. Even without possessing a supreme true treasure, His strength still firmly surpassed that of a 6th-rank universe master and approached the level once reached by the primal ancestor. The discovery that benefited Luo Feng most was his understanding of the origin behind the 5 Chaos Masters' famous technique, the 5-Beast Annihilation. This secret technique, which had once astonished the entire universe ocean, was merely an altered version of the 3rd-level secret engraving within the Mad Demon Godslayer armor. Countless experts had spent their entire lives cultivating techniques they considered to be their greatest achievements. Yet in the end, many of those techniques were simply derivative moves created from the secret engravings contained within powerful treasures. After comprehending this truth, Luo Feng completely abandoned the limitations of traditional cultivation. He began devoting himself to studying the secret engravings within the Star Tower, the Shi Wings, and the Mad Demon Godslayer armor. He compared them against the 6 top-level secret engraving diagrams left behind by Sitting Mountain Guest, using each system to verify and deepen his understanding of the others. His progress accelerated rapidly. For more than 300 years, Luo Feng remained hidden as he began his path of quiet growth and eventual resurgence. Although he had lost the enhancement provided by the Shi Wings, he did not become discouraged. Instead, he freed himself from dependence on powerful treasures and devoted his full attention to the secret engraving diagram school. Through relentless effort, he raised his attainments to the level of a genuine universe master. He even created a top-level universe master offensive technique, known as Golden Rend. After fully comprehending the 3rd-level secret engravings of the Mad Demon Godslayer armor, he created another killing technique called Godslayer. Through his mastery of secret techniques alone, Luo Feng had already reached the level of a top 4th-rank universe master despite not yet breaking through to become a universe master himself. His close combat strength and explosive power far surpassed those of other geniuses from his generation. To train safely and avoid being hunted by his enemies, Luo Feng adopted the identity of the Golden Rend Master and secretly explored the inner region of the universe boat. Over the next 300 years, he fought through countless dangerous regions and participated in numerous battles for true treasures. He maintained a low profile, developed steadily, and continued to grow stronger. Everything changed when the battle for the treasure within Wave Star Sea erupted. Several veteran universe masters died during the brutal conflict. Luo Feng finally stopped concealing his strength and unleashed his full power. With overwhelming force, he seized the top-level domain true treasure known as the Snowfire Realm. His strength astonished everyone present. During that battle, the Snow Storehouse Master from the 2nd Reincarnation era publicly exposed his true identity. The Golden Rend Master, whose name had resounded throughout the universe ocean, was none other than Luo Feng, the former Silver Wing Lord who had once resisted 3 veteran universe masters alone and severely injured the 5 Chaos Master. The moment Luo Feng's identity was revealed, the entire universe ocean was shaken. No one could believe that the newly risen expert who had once relied on his winged treasure to win battles had not fallen into obscurity after losing that treasure. Instead, through his own cultivation, he had shattered his limitations and increased his combat power once again. When the 5 Chaos Master and the Inyong Master, who were far away within the Divine Eye clan, received the news, their killing intent erupted uncontrollably. The 5 Chaos Master had accumulated treasures and resources across 3 reincarnation eras. Both his original body and his clone had suffered devastating losses because of Luo Feng. His treasures had been damaged, and much of his foundation had been destroyed. He had long regarded Luo Feng as his greatest enemy. The Inyong Master also shared a long-standing grudge with Luo Feng. The two immediately decided to travel to the universe boat, hunt Luo Feng down, and wash away their previous humiliation. However, Luo Feng was no longer the person he had once been. He did not fear their pursuit in the slightest. More than 300 years of deadly battles and relentless training had completely transformed him. Although his divine power remained at only 100 times the ordinary genetic level, leaving him inferior to top-level universe masters in raw power, his extraordinary mastery of secret engravings, his self-created top-level techniques, and the support of 2 powerful treasures allowed his overall strength to equal that of a 5th-rank universe master. He had already become comparable to the Chaos City leader. Even the Chaos City leader and the Great Axe creator were astonished after personally sparring with him. They deliberately visited the suppressed primal ancestor to re-evaluate the order of the human race's greatest geniuses. According to the predictions of the primal ancestor and the great axe creator, Luo Feng's potential had already surpassed that of the Pengong Master and the Darkness Master. He now stood second only to the Chaos City leader, and had become the human race's most promising candidate to become the next strongest in the universe. The Chaos City leader openly declared that once Luo Feng broke through and became a universe master, eliminating his disadvantage in divine power, he would need only a short period of training before joining the strongest experts of the human race. He might even create his own unique path of transcendence, continuing the legendary succession formed by the primal ancestor, the Chaos City leader, and Luo Feng across 3 generations. Despite gaining fame and reaching extraordinary strength, Luo Feng did not choose to flaunt his power or compete for dominance. Instead, he made a remarkably farsighted decision. He traveled toward the black patterned stone pillar space at the heart of the universe boat's inner region, to temper his will and strengthen his state of mind. Compared with a simple increase in combat strength, the transformation of one's will was the true foundation required to reach higher realms and transcend reincarnation. The black patterned stone pillars were recognized throughout the universe ocean as one of the greatest sacred grounds for tempering the will. After spending 620 years crossing the countless dangerous regions of the universe boat, Luo Feng finally reached this mysterious sanctuary. The black patterned stone pillar space contained 16 ancient pillars, each extending for more than 1,000 light-years. The pillars were engraved with reincarnation-level secret patterns that even the strongest in the universe could not completely comprehend. Their mysteries far surpassed those contained within supreme true treasures. The laws governing this region were unique. It was not only the safest cultivation ground within the inner region of the universe boat, but also a place where time flowed at an extraordinary rate. The closer a cultivator moved toward the pillars, the faster time passed. At the highest levels, time could accelerate by more than 100,000 times, allowing someone to spend tens of thousands of years cultivating while only a brief period passed in the outside world. At the same time, the pillars constantly released boundless pressure upon the will, making the region a natural sacred ground for refining one's state of mind and strengthening one's determination. Soon after entering the secret region, Luo Feng encountered the Swallow Hawk Master, a top expert of the Hong Alliance. As an ally of the human camp, the Swallow Hawk Master had already heard of Luo Feng's incredible achievements and admired him greatly. He carefully explained the power structure, dangerous territories, and forbidden rules of the black patterned stone pillar space, allowing Luo Feng to avoid countless potential threats. Although the region appeared peaceful, 3 terrifying beings at the level of the strongest in the universe resided there. Each possessed a completely different temperament, and each enforced strict rules that no one dared to violate. The first was the Bei Qi Star Master from the first reincarnation era. He was gentle, benevolent, and extraordinarily profound in cultivation. He had spent countless years studying the secret patterns upon the pillars, and frequently shared his discoveries with the universe masters cultivating in the region. Even the arrogant rampaging demon god treated him with a measure of respect. Among the 3 supreme beings, the Bei Qi Star Master was the only one upon whom weaker cultivators could safely rely. The second was the Blood Orchid Ancestor, a plant life form. She was solitary, ruthless, and decisive in killing. No living being was permitted to approach within 1 million kilometers of the region she occupied. Anyone who violated this restriction would be killed immediately. The most feared of the 3 was the rampaging demon god from the second reincarnation era, one of the most dangerous beings in the entire universe ocean. His own combat power was merely at the level of an ordinary strongest in the universe, but he possessed a special supreme true treasure known as the Blood Sea Demon Armor. This treasure could release an endless assault upon the will. Even another strongest in the universe would be affected by it. An ordinary universe master who came into contact with the attack would instantly lose clarity of mind and become incapable of resisting. Even more terrifying was the rampaging demon god's unpredictable temperament and talent for disguise. He frequently altered his appearance and secretly moved among the cultivators within the region. No one could recognize his true form. A single careless action that offended him could result in immediate death. He was the greatest nightmare of every expert who entered the black patterned stone pillar space. With the Swallow Hawk Master's guidance, Luo Feng gained a complete understanding of the region and witnessed the profound foundations possessed by the universe ocean's greatest experts. Nearly 100 universe masters permanently resided within the black pattern stone pillar space. Most were top-level experts belonging to the major powers of the universe ocean. Among them, 19 had already tempered their wills to the limit of the universe master level. 3 extraordinary geniuses possessed wills comparable to those of the strongest in the universe, displaying terrifying talent and profound foundations. One of those 3 was Luo Feng's mortal enemy, the Pure Eye Master of the Divine Eye Clan. As one of the Divine Eye Clan's greatest geniuses, the Pure Eye Master possessed a will that surpassed nearly every one of his generation, and had firmly reached the level of the strongest in the universe. His foundation was profound, and his techniques were mysterious and unpredictable. With the hatred between their races combined with their personal grievances, the Pure Eye Master undoubtedly became Luo Feng's greatest hidden threat within the region. Yet after enduring countless battles, deadly trials and repeated tempering of his will, Luo Feng remained calm before this powerful enemy. More than 600 years of exploration within the universe boat, comprehension of secret engravings, and life-or-death combat had already made his state of mind as immovable as stone. His will had far surpassed that of an ordinary universe master, allowing him to advance steadily into the core regions of the secret realm and continue his cultivation without fear.